Let go! That's what I'm talking about, baby. We got David Benavidez working out a deal to fight against David Morrell. Check this joint out.
Toma, hueva, tacho.
VIC SZN
Pa' que sepa, puñeta.
Woo. Now we might be getting boxing back. Let's go. Listen, if you're new to this channel, this is where I like to cover the most latest, greatest, and exciting fight news, where I also elaborate my personal thoughts, perspective, opinions, so on and so forth. I also allow you guys to comment down below so we could further touch up on the topic. If this is the type of content you believe you'll be into, please make sure to smash that like button on your way in. Don't forget, hit that joint. It helps us grow. I truly appreciate it. And while you at it, subscribe to your boy. And shout out to all my returning viewers. Thank you for tuning in once again. I love y'all. You already know what's up. Let's go. There's some more excitement coming in the sport of boxing that we've been kind of waiting for, man. This is long overdue, but I'm glad that it's happening now. We got David Benavidez working out a fight deal with David Morrell, and this could possibly be what's next for both fighters, which is truly exciting if you ask me. Now, I'm going to show you the details of this, and let's get right to it. Michael Benson posts on Twitter, or on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he says, David Benavidez versus David Morrell is reportedly now in negotiations, as Benavidez has decided he wants to fight Morrell next, and so instructed his team to send an offer, which they are awaiting a response to. Yo, this is what I'm talking about, baby. This is what we need right here, baby. This is what we need, and I hope David Morrell takes this fight, and at least we can no longer blame someone like David Benavidez for not taking these fights and always, chasing that Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people try to give him crap because obviously everybody wants this Canelo fight, but if anybody's more deserving, it's someone like David Benavidez. Now, David Morrell is a very dangerous fighter. He's top 10 in at 168, but they moved up. So now that they're in that same division, up a step higher, we get to see some of these, people go against each other that we've been dying to see, these fighters that we've been dying to see, but it seems like everybody's just, picking and choosing what's best for their careers financially. And now it seems like we're going to we're going towards a direction where we're able to see what the fans deserve to see. So this is, let's touch up on this a little more, right? David Benavidez gets a lot of criticism. And he gets also a lot of support for that fight with Canelo. Obviously, the fight we want to see is him versus Canelo, right? But, Canelo earned his spot to take the fights he wants, whether you agree or not, because I don't even agree at times. But I got to respect the fact that he got to a place in his career where he could do what he wants, and obviously that's just the reality of the situation. No matter how we feel, the reality is Canelo Alvarez gets to do what he wants, and we see it all the time taking place. So there's no purpose of trying to fight for it, whether you agree with it or not. It is what it is, and we have to learn to accept that. But at least in this situation, David Benavidez is now seeming to understand that he has to create his own legacy within this situation, because the fight that we all want to see and the fight that we feel like makes the most sense right now, it's David Benavidez versus Canelo. But since it's not happening, at least we get to see something that, is next, like the second best, right? David Benavidez versus David Morrell is fireworks. You know what I'm saying? David Morrell coming from Cuba, Cuba. Shout out to all my Cuban brothers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my Ecuadorian brothers. Shout out to all my Mexican brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Latinos in general for this fight as well. Shout out to boxing fans in general for this, man. Like, this is going to be a good one. And I think it's about time, that he starts creating a legacy outside of chasing a fight with Canelo. And the reason why I say chasing is because that's where it got to. It's for something that should have happened just naturally, because those are the best fighters, right, in that division. At 168, they were the best fighters. Now he stepped up. Benavidez looked past that, and it seems like he's creating his own legacy, which is very possible because it's only a matter of time before Canelo retires. You know what I'm saying? And who's going to be next? But during that process, while this is happening, take out some names, and then you're going to be the next one up, because somebody got to be the cash cow. And it seems like the next one up would be somebody like David Benavidez, because of his dominant performances. Yeah, I would say his last performance wasn't as dominant as we expected, but I think he did a better job than someone like Bud did stepping up. I think he did a better job than someone like Tio did, or like when Tio was 135 to 140. I feel like I can't even say that because Tio, even though I have my disagreements with how he carries himself, but when it comes to boxing, obviously he didn't do as good at 140 than he did at 130, despite that loss against Cambosis, or at 135, despite the loss against Cambosis. But at 140, he was still able to unify there and do his undisputed thing. You know what I'm saying? So, it's no love, it's no hate on this channel as we keep it real. I just don't agree with his antics outside of the ring. But when we're gonna get to it is we got somebody like David Benavidez where we can now appreciate what boxing is really about. You know what I'm saying? And now we gotta wait for David Morrell. Let's see where he wants to go. Hopefully he takes this fight, because then we could see more competition taking place. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's being smart about this, because we already know that Canelo seems to be chasing that Bivol rematch if he wins the undisputed titles. So what would be the smartest thing for David Benavidez to counter that? Because that was David Benavidez's goal to begin with, is to try to go for undisputed. But we all know that he's not going to be, is no comparing candidates to Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? You got to wipe off all candidates when Canelo wants to fight, because you just like, nobody's going to pick somebody else over Canelo Alvarez. So the fact that this was even an idea is brilliant for David Benavidez. It's a brilliant fight, because if you're not going to be able to get that fight for undisputed, because Canelo is going to be the one to take it if Bivol wins, at least during the process of you waiting, David Morrell, right? Not only that, what if Bivol doesn't win, right? You could take out David Morrell during the process, which he'll get a lot of credit for. Nobody could say nothing about that, because David Morrell is undefeated, great fighter. He comes in to do his job, right? And if he's able to take out David Morrell, guess what? Better beef, say he becomes the undisputed champion, and they don't have a rematch for some sort of reason, and he could possibly get that title shot next, because we don't think Canelo's going to want to take that fight with Better Beef, right? So there's so many reasons why this fight is so impactful, not just for Benavidez's career, but just for the sport of boxing, because we get to see, two names that we're familiar with go against each other that actually bring it, right? Now, to criticize both of them, they haven't done the best at 175. You know what I'm saying? They haven't performed as good as they did at 175 that at 168. But to say the least, that was both of their fights at 175 that was only their first fight. You know what I mean? And they still did a decent job. It's just not as good. But seeing them go against each other, I think it would bring fireworks. And any fight we see with David Benavidez, he brings it. David Morrell didn't bring it so much, but against someone like David Benavidez, I feel like there's just this competitive, the names are just there that to make it much more competitive, and they know they got to bring it that night. So I'm excited for that joint. Thank God. Thank you to the boxing gods for putting this joint together. If they lock in, it's on David Morrell's court, so we just got to wait on that.
Hold up.
This is the universal favorite to fight fans from all nations. Thank you for tuning in to VIC SZN Sports, the #1 source for combat news and creation.
Toma, huepa, chacho, pa que sepa, puñeta.
Let me know in the comment section, does this fight excite you? And if so, who do you have victorious? David Benavidez or David Morrell, and in what fashion? Before you do, though, don't hesitate to drop a little something in my Cash App. Don't worry. Gotta make sure to bless you with that cash back. While you at it, find that like button, smash that, subscribe to my channel past that. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you can bring that ass back. And that's that. Why? Cause
VIC SZN got that flavor.
you're damn right we do. Toma, let go.